Have you ever wondered how the experience of war can change a soldier's mind? War is often associated with visible wounds, scars telling a story of courage and sacrifice. But there's another side to this narrative, an invisible wound that can be just as devastating: the psychological impact. Our brave veterans, having faced the harsh realities of war, may carry this unseen burden known as post-traumatic stress disorder or PTSD. This is not a rare occurrence. In fact, it is estimated that nearly 1 in 5 veterans who return from war zones suffer from PTSD. It's a mental health condition triggered by terrifying events, often characterized by flashbacks, nightmares, severe anxiety, and uncontrollable thoughts about the event. Understanding PTSD is not just important, it's crucial. It's about acknowledging the profound ways war can change a person beyond what the eye can see. War changes people not just physically but mentally. One such change is the onset of post-traumatic stress disorder or PTSD. But what exactly is PTSD and how does it affect an individual? Let's peel back the layers of this complex condition. Post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD as it's more commonly known, is a mental health condition that's triggered by experiencing or witnessing a terrifying event. It's like a ghost from a traumatic past that refuses to be laid to rest, haunting the present and casting a shadow over the future. Let's break this down a bit. Imagine seeing something so frightening, so shocking, that it leaves a deep, indelible mark on your mind. It's not something you can just shake off like a bad dream. This event, or series of events, becomes a part of you, woven into the very fabric of your psyche. Now imagine that this terrifying experience comes back to visit you again and again in the form of nightmares, flashbacks, and unwelcome memories. It's as if you're reliving the horror over and over, unable to escape. These are some of the key symptoms of PTSD, the intrusive, recurring reminders of the traumatic event. But it doesn't stop there. PTSD also brings with it severe anxiety, an ever-present sense of dread that's difficult to shake. It's like living in a state of constant high alert, waiting for the next threat to emerge. This heightened state of anxiety can lead to difficulty sleeping, irritability, and even anger outbursts. And then there's the avoidance. Many people with PTSD will go to great lengths to avoid anything that might remind them of the traumatic event. This could be places, people, or activities that bring back those painful memories. It's a protective mechanism, but it can also lead to isolation and withdrawal from life. So when we talk about PTSD, we're talking about a complex interplay of memories, emotions, and behaviors that can significantly impact a person's life. It's a condition that can make the world feel like a dangerous, unpredictable place. PTSD isn't just a condition, it's a silent battle veterans carry with them long after the war is over. Now, let's delve into how PTSD affects a person, particularly our veterans. Post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD, is not just a single symptom or sensation. It's a complex web of emotional, physical, and mental challenges that can drastically change a person's life. For our veterans, the impact of PTSD is often profound, extending from their mental health to their personal and professional lives. Imagine constantly reliving your most terrifying moments. That's what PTSD can feel like. It's as if you're stuck in a loop of distressing memories and nightmares, unable to break free. This constant state of high alert can lead to severe anxiety and depression, creating a mental health cocktail that's extremely difficult to manage, but it doesn't stop there. PTSD can also disrupt sleep, leading to insomnia and a host of related health issues. It can make concentration difficult, affecting job performance and daily life tasks. It can cause a person to feel emotionally numb or disconnected from others, straining relationships with loved ones. PTSD can also lead to self-destructive behaviors. Some veterans may turn to alcohol or drugs in an attempt to escape their memories and feelings. This not only exacerbates their mental health issues, but can also lead to physical health problems. Perhaps the most sobering impact of PTSD is the increased risk of suicide among veterans. According to the Department of Veterans Affairs, roughly 20 veterans die by suicide each day. That's a staggering figure, and it underlines the urgent need for understanding, support, and intervention. The impacts of PTSD are far-reaching and often devastating, but it's important to remember that each person's experience with PTSD is unique. There's no one-size-fits-all description or solution. What's universal, however, is the courage it takes to face these invisible wounds. It's a heavy burden to bear, but understanding is the first step towards helping our veterans. So, what can we take away from this, and how can we help our veterans? Let's start by recapping some of the key points we've discussed. Post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD, is a mental health condition that can occur after a person experiences a traumatic event. For our veterans, this often results from the extraordinary circumstances they encounter during their service. PTSD can manifest in various ways, including re-experiencing the traumatic event, avoiding reminders of the trauma, and experiencing negative changes in thoughts and mood. It's also important to remember that PTSD isn't a sign of weakness. It's a human response to extraordinary stress, and it's something that anyone can experience. The impact of PTSD on veterans can be profound, affecting their relationships, their work, and their ability to enjoy life. But it's crucial to remember that PTSD is treatable, and there is hope for recovery. That brings us to the question, how can we help? The answer lies in understanding, support, and resources. Understanding comes from learning about PTSD, its symptoms, and its effects. Support comes from family, friends, and the community, letting our veterans know they're not alone, that we appreciate their sacrifice, and that we're here to help. And then, there are resources. There are numerous organizations dedicated to helping veterans cope with PTSD, offering everything from counseling and therapy to financial assistance and job placement. The Veterans Crisis Line is available 24/7 for anyone in need. You can reach them by calling 1-800-273-TALK, 8255, and pressing 1. The National Center for PTSD also provides a wealth of information and resources on its website. These resources are lifelines for our veterans, and they're just a phone call or click away. Remember, understanding is the first step. Let's stand with our veterans, let's ensure they don't fight this battle alone. It's up to us to ensure that our veterans have the help and support they need to overcome PTSD and lead fulfilling lives. Let's make that commitment today.